Yeah, ukuzitsha nje la kitchen nje.
There were some dishes in the kitchen, just in the kitchen, on the sink. The dishes were there.
And you make certain observations in the kitchen initially, and let's clarify that. What do you observe at the first instance when you entered that house in the kitchen?
Uma sungena ke ngena kokuqala la ekitchen ke yini oyibonayo?
Into engayibona ngikhumbula ngathi we-crutch lapha ka left.
The crutch on the left side next to the stove.
And what else, if you recall, at the first instance?
I think the head as well.
And then you then move on to the kitchen through the passage.
And as well as the cans.
Okay. Are the cans in the kitchen?
Now my cans is in the dining room.
Okay. And your observation or your summation of you seeing the cans, you say it looked like there was a party there. What informs that summation of yours?
Ushilo ke ukuthi uma ubona lama cans la kwakungathi nje bane party yini eyakubangela ukuthi ucabange kanjalo?
Kuyizitsha bese nalo tshwala lawo.
The dishes as well as the liquor that was there.
But from photo 64 that was shown to you, we only see 2 cans of alcohol.
Kodwa ke kulesi sithombe obusibonisiwe lana bekuyama can amabili nje kuphela utshwala.
Yebo.
Yes.
One swallow makes the rain. I'll leave it. Now, at the first instance, did you then notice blood anywhere in the house?
Uma nifika noma ningene kokuqala lapha yana igazi kukhona la ngabona khona igazi uma nifika kokuqala.
Ngikhumbula kahle igazi silibone wesithumba sesibuya wesecond instance.
If I remember well, we only saw the blood when we came back for the second time.
On that aspect, okay, you recall that you made 2 statements regarding this incident, correct?
Uyakhumbula ukuthi kune statement oyi2 owazenza ne?
Yebo.
Yes.
The first one that I'm not going to refer you to was made on the 26th, early hours of 27th of October 2014, when this incident occurred, correct?
Esinye leso senze phakathi kwe26 nasekuseni nge27 October 2014.
Yebo.
Yes.
And the second one was made on the 15th of November 2018. And it was taken by an officer by the name of Richard Ramukosi. Do you know him?
Esinye sango November 2018 sathatha uRamukosi uyamazi?
Yeah, khona was thatha statement.
Yes, someone. Yes, someone came to take a statement as to who it was. I can't remember.
If I can ask that the witness be provided with A97, that's a document that he deposed to on that date. 15th February. Okay, I'll correct that. Now there's a document in front of you, and how was this document made? Did you narrate the story to the person that was making it, or did you reduce it yourself into writing?
Wawumtshela lo muntu lona ke oweza kuwe noma wayibhalela wena ngokwakho?
Bengimtshela.
I was narrating.
In what language were you conversing with this person when
Nisebenzisa AEP language?
IsiZulu.
IsiZulu.
And as you are narrating the story, he writes it down. After it was completed, was the document read back to you?
Uma eseqedile ke usibhala ingaba wakufundela yini lento ayibhalile?
Ngiyifunda, wathi ngiyifunda.
I read it. He asked me to read it.
And having read it, you were satisfied with the contents thereof, correct?
Uneliseka ke ilokho okubhaliwe.
Yebo.
Yes.
And having been satisfied with the document, you then appended your signature on the document And if you can look at the document before you, there are, I think it's a first number and a signature at the bottom right of each page and at the end of the last page.
Wase uyasayina ke khona uyasayina la kunokhona ne-force number futhi.
Yebo.
Yes.
Now, would you confirm that this is the statement that you made to Ramukosi on the, let me get the date correct, on the 15th of February 2018?
Yebo.
Now, on the
Is it February? Did you not say November?
it's February. That was a
Okay.
mistake at the beginning. When the statement is 15 February 2018.
Yisona lesiwasenza ke ngo-15 February 2018.
Yeah, there's the additional statement.
Yes, the additional statement.
Now, my lord, I'll need the guidance of the court with respect to Mafaladiso and related cases. Should I read the whole document to him then?
How many pages is it? You want to engage him on how many pages?
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 pages.
On all the pages?
Sorry, my lord.
You're engaging him on all the pages?
No, I'm only engaging him in respect of paragraph 4 thereof.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Okay, thank you, my lord. I mean, that's it.
Phone.
Now, I'm going to read to you paragraph 4 of A97, and it reads as follows, and I quote, Temba was on his way out of the house and informed us Senzo was shot inside the house. Temba Kumar further informed us that Kelly, together with other victims, took Senzo to the hospital in Botselong. Temba told us that only the people in the house know what happened were all at the hospital. We entered the house and I noticed blood stain on the floor in the house was in an untidy stage. Do you see that paragraph?
uThemba ke wayesendleleni ephumayo endlini wasitshela ke ukuthi uSenzo wadutshulwa phakathi endlini. uThemba Khumalo okunye futhi abasichazela kona ke ukuthi uKelly kanye nabanye bathatha uSenzo bamisa esibhedlele eButilong. uThemba wasitshela ke ukuthi abantu abaziyo ukuthi yini eyenzeka ilabo babesesibhedlele. Sangena phakathi ke endlini ngabona ke igazi phansi noma ama stain egazi phansi futhi ke nendlu nje yayikwisimo ke esingekho kahle noma ingcolile.
Now, what is deposed there and written there is that you notice blood at the first instance, in contrast to your testimony that you only noticed blood at the corner of the couch and TV stand on your second visit to the house upon returning from hospital.
Lana ke lokho kubhalwe la kuyaphikisana nalokho kushoyo. Lana uthi igazi walibona uma ningena nje okokuqala endlini. Kodwa ke mawunikezwa ngobufakazi uthe igazi nalibona noma walibona uma nibuye kwesibili.
Alibona mase sibuya kwesibili kahle kahle.
I saw the blood when we came back for the second time.
Now, let's move on. Upon having done that walkthrough the first time, you asked Temba Khumalo to lock the house so that you can go to the hospital, use your way to rush to hospital to get further clarification as to what transpired in that house, correct?
Uthi mase niqedile ke namcela uThemba Khumalo ukuthi akavale nihambe niye esibhedlele niyozwa ke ukuthi kwenzekani kahle kahle.
Yebo.
Yes.
Now, when you go to that Botsilong hospital and you know now that Senzo was shot at that house, it's a crime scene, did you, for the first time before going to Botsilong, cordon off that crime scene?
Uma naseniya ke eButilong ngeke manje niyazi ke ukuthi sekuyi crime scene then ngalesikhathi nihamba niye esibhedlela ngaba nakhodina ngalesa sikhathi navala. No.
And as a first responding police officer to a shooting incident as it was described to you in the dispatch, you've got certain roles and responsibilities towards the scene, correct?
Nanjengamaphoyisa okuqala ke afika laphayana ke noma first responders ukuthi kukhona lokho naziyo ukuthi kufanele ninama responsibility noma nama roles ekufanele niwenze kusini.
Yebo.
Yes.
The first, and you'll agree with me whether I'm wrong or right, is to assess the scene when you arrive to see whether there are injured people, dead people, injured people that will need medical attention, and to have them first get medical attention, correct?
Okokuqala ke ukuthi kubheke ukuthi abakhona yini abantu abalimele ukuthi uma bekhona abantu abalimele ukuthi bathole usizo.
Yebo.
Yes.
And once the injured have been moved out of the scene and it is clear, then the second purpose is to secure the scene and preserve it so that evidence that is there is not contaminated and tampered with by removing unauthorized personnel from that crime scene, correct?
Uma ke lokho senikwenzile ke ukubheka ke ukuthi noma uqiniseka ukuthi isini lena ke isecuriwe kwaye futhi yavalwa ke ngokuthi kususwe abantu abaegafanele ukuthi babe lapho.
Yebo.
Yes.
Let me just go back. When you first get at the scene, you meet Themba Khumalo. Were there any other people already at that scene, in the yard, in the house?
Ngalesikhathi nifika okokuqala nihlangana noThemba Khumalo babe khona abanye abantu ababe lapho.
Ilabantu laba lapha ku pavement nalo mama lo osipointele ilona ama suspect.
It's the people that were on the pavement together with the lady that was giving us directions as to where the suspects ran towards.
Now, to preserve and protect a scene from contamination by people, because people are the most contaminators on the scene, you cordon off the scene with a police tape, correct?
Ukuqiniseka ke ukuthi ke akukho kwenziwayo ke abantu ukuphazanyiswa kwesini ngoba ke abantu ibona ke bakwazi ukuthi bangangcolisaka noma baphazamise isini uyavala ngetape. Yes.
Now, the two ladies that you referred to, that they were pointing to a certain direction towards the park that you met on the scene. Would you agree with me that those are potential witnesses because they are pointing to potential suspects, correct?
Laba babili ke ushoyo ukuthi babekhomba ke bethi ama suspects ayengalena ke ukuthi ke kwangama ama potential witnesses ngoba bayakhomba bayasho ukuthi ama suspects ayengakuphi.
Ebangazi just bathi abantu babalekile ngale not ukuthi bayabazi ukuthi bababonile kanjani bathi abantu ama suspects agijimile ngale kuleya direction.
Just not to say that they knew or they knew who they were, they just said that the suspects ran towards that direction.
Hence I'm saying they were potential witnesses because you'll only learn later when you've taken their details and interviewed them to say, who did you see running there? You'll agree?
Ingakho ngisho ukuthi nayo ukuthi bangama witness babe ngaba noma babe ama potential witness ukuthi lokho ke ubuzokwazi kamuva ukuthi uma ubabuza ukuthi ubone bani obani labo babonile. Yes.
Now, did you obtain the contact details and residential addresses of the two ladies?
Ama contact details kanye nama address alama lady lawa wawathatha.
Ngikhumbula kahle athi ngaphatha amagama if I'm not mistaken wathatha amagama.
If I remember well, I think I took their names.
And you didn't take the details of where they reside or immediately in your pocketbook take their contact numbers?
Ukuthi bahlala kuphi nama contact numbers awuzange kwathatha.
Just ngafaka kulo pocketbook.
In the pocketbook.
And that pocketbook is not going to assist us because now it's gone absent without leave. Correct?
Angithi ayisekho ke manje le pocketbook. It's not there anymore.
Now, your testimony, just to clear this one out, there's you, Sergeant Mtetwa, and the two student constables. You all drove to the hospital, correct?
Number 4 wena umthetho nama students awu2 na esibhedlela. Yes.
And the only person left on the scene guarding, for lack of better word, guarding the scene was Themba Khumalo, correct?
Kwasala uThemba Khumalo yedwa lapha. Yes, the uncle.
Now, you go to the hospital. Where do you encounter this BMW SUV motor vehicle?
Uma seniya ke manje esibhedlele nihlangana kuphi ke nale BMW lena?
egeyidini eButhilong.
At the gate in Butilong.
And how does the interaction go? You say, Kelly, a light from the SUV comes to you, or what happened, that interaction? Clarify it for me, please.
Uthukeli wehla wabe eseza kunina kwenzeka kanjani?
Mangikhumbula kahle uye wama nathi sama. Asima waphuma akazange waphuma nje la duze nemoto yakhe nathi saphuma sama nje duze nemoto yakhe washo ukuthi wabuza ukuthi nize nge-incident yasenzo ngathi yebo.
She stopped, we stopped. She didn't come to our vehicle. She just came, alighted from the vehicle and stood next to a vehicle. And we also alighted and stood next to our vehicle and inquired, are you here for Senzo's matter? Then we said yes.
And after that, was there an elaboration? Because according to your evidence in chief, is that you went specifically to the hospital to find out the details of what transpired. Did you ask Kelly Khumalo exactly what happened on that scene at 13511 People Street?
Ushilo ke ukuthi uma niye esibhedlela nanifuna ukwazi ukuthi kwenzekeni manje uma sesho kanjalo ke ingabe nambuza yini ke ema details ukuthi yini kahle kahle yenzeka.
Awu yebo ngiyachaza ngoba
Kube.
uthe usenzo seyasishila.
She said Senzo is dead.
Yes, but that's the tail part of the story. You said you went to the hospital to find the body of evidence, what really transpired in that house. Did you ask Kelly Khumalo what happened in that house?
Ushilo ukuthi uma niye esibhedlela nanifuna ukwazi ukuthi yini eyenzeke endlini. Manje ke nangoku Kelly senikhuluma naye nambuza yini noma wambuza yini ukuthi Kelly kwenzakalani endlini.
Thema simbuza wathi hayi singene phakathi sothola bakhona la bakhona endlini.
When we asked her that, she told us to go inside. The people, there are some people there inside the hospital who were in the house.
Okay, now you get into the hospital, you see the family seated at the waiting area, reception area. Did you ask anyone of the family members there and then to come and assist you by describing what transpired in the house on that night in question?
Ushilo uma ningena esibhedlela bakhona ke laba behleli ku left be family. Ingabe ukhona nabuza kuyena ke laba be family laba behleli lapha yana.
Ngikhumbula kahle sibuze mase sicede ukumbona mase sithole ne declaration yakasenzo.
If I remember well, we inquired when we had already seen him and after having received Senzo's declaration.
Now, how long did you remain at the hospital? How long did you remain there?
Isikhathi singakanani enasichitha lapha esibhedlela?
Azange isikhathi esincane ngoba kuzange kube isikhathi eside ngoba abolona basheshe bafika bomkwili.
It was not a long time, a short time, because the Mukwili, the people that we contacted, were very quick to arrive.
And your version is that you then asked one of the persons that were in the house to accompany you back to the crime scene, and Makhumalo volunteered for that, correct?
Uthi nase nicela ukuthi nikhashwe kubuyela endlini uma Khumalo ba volunteer.
Yebo.
Yes.
And you left with Makhumalo back to the scene, correct?
Nahamba naye.
Yebo.
Yes.
Was Makhumalo accompanied by any other lady when you went back to the scene?
Uma Khumalo engene emotweni yenu nihamba naye kubuyela endlini. Ukhona ubaba owayehamba naye noma ilady elagibela naye Khumalo.
Mangikhumbula bekayi-1 umama ngoba sashiya ama students awashiya esibhedlela.
If I remember well, it was only Makhumalo, and we also left the students at the hospital.
The reason I'm asking you, a lady came and gave evidence in this court. Her name is Ntabise Mokete. She says she and Makhumalo accompanied the police officers back to the scene so that they can go and